God is giving you a vision, if God is giving you a ministry, understand that you got to keep Him first to keep it. God is not going to give you something to where you rely on man or yourself alone. Just that there are certain passages that God is really showing us, like, what's really going on. They depend on y'all to keep their church open. They depend on y'all tithes. But if God gave it to you, literally, like, you don't have to depend on people. Why are you depending on the people when God is the one giving it to you? So understand that in this season, it is important that you understand who you are under. If you allow people to have to be in higher position than God is in your life, that you rather follow them, then you're going to sink with them. If God is showing you pastors and they're begging you to keep their church open, oh help us, when they should be going to God, God, what am I doing wrong? What's going on? What did I get in the way of? The same way that we need to, if God is giving us something, God, what is in my life that I am doing to where, it's affecting things around me? God isn't just giving people titles. God is going to make sure that they keep Him first. You got to keep what God gives you by keeping Him. You just can't, oh, God bless me with this, God bless me with that, but yet God's not in it. All right, so God's going to show the people that He's not in it by it falling, by it not prospering, by you not being able to pay your bills because you kept God out of it. Y'all kept saying, oh, well, if you pay this amount of money, then yeah, this is going to happen, and you will be blessed in this. But that's not how God operates. That's why a lot of y'all are begging the people to keep what God is shutting down. God is shutting churches and places down. God is revealing to you who's of Him and who's not of Him. And we are in a season to where the ordinary, the people that don't want to be seen, the people that God is actually using, that actually follows Him, that they're the ones that will be seen and put in position. But God is trying to warn some of y'all that who you're following isn't of Him. And if you keep following Him, if you keep sowing into them, understand you're sowing into dead grounds. When are y'all going to wake up to have a relationship for yourself, to have your eyes open and the ears to hear of what's really going on, and not being so naive because y'all are so loyal to pastors and people in position that you can't even be loyal to God, or when somebody's trying to warn you that you can't hear nothing from them, it got to be from this particular person. But yet God is saying, I love my children that much that I will come in to save your life. But some of y'all are so ignorant and naive, because even in Corinthians it teaches we can be so naive, like, let's not, like, come on, to think that God won't take us down. God won't remove us from position. God won't. If we keep God out of things, that, like, don't be so naive that you don't think that you will fall like David. You won't be under a spell like Ahab with Jezebel. See, like, yeah, you're of God, but you won't be so, like what's in your heart that's making you stay with that person? What's broken in you that's keeping you with the brokenness of certain leaders? Because listen, we all broken. But there's just a type of brokenness where people are holding on, where they got points to prove, but they're doing it without God. They want the title, they want to be seen, but yet you need to go heal that little girl, that little boy inside of you. You need to go heal the things that's inside of you that's bleeding out on the people. But because everyone don't have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, because the messages sound good, because you're talking and you're speaking out of emotions, but you have no substance. It's time that y'all start getting a relationship with God for yourself and reading the Word so you can understand that there's instructions. I'm tired of people saying that, well, there's no instructions on life. Listen, I'm telling you, there's instructions on life. It's called reading the Word so you can know how to move and maneuver. And if you don't know how to do anything, keep God first and to love people. If you want to know what your purpose is, do those two things and watch how God bring things to you. But stop being so gullible to the leaders. Stop being so naive that you think, well, no, they won't do this. We don't know people the way that we think that we know people. But when you stay in God's presence, when you allow God to work with you and to heal you, you'll understand that they're human too. We are all human. They just have a title. Don't allow their greed, their position, their status, and celebrity status, or whatever it is that they may have, to think that you think that God is really with them. God isn't in things. God is in His people. God is His spirit. So I need y'all to understand, objects and things can't really do anything and aren't evil. It's the people and the spirits that are in people. I need y'all to understand, having a relationship with God will help you save your life more than anything. And yes, I understand that it's hard walking with God, but baby, I would rather look foolish. I would rather look crazy. I would wish, if I could do all this behind other people, chasing other people, my parents, a man, all that, look foolish and not grow, but hurt and feels a certain type of way, want revengeance. But yet when I start seeking God, it's not easy. But yet I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm developing, I'm maturing. I'm not losing anything. And the things that I do lose was never supposed to be there anyway. So therefore, you're not losing anything. You're gaining a better life. You're gaining wisdom. You're gaining knowledge. You're gaining a better perspective of life. You're gaining life itself, because you're saving your life, not keep going down a path of sin and destruction. So therefore, in this time that you need to get ready with yourself, so you know what leaders and pastors and people with titles, who to follow, because everybody that has a title isn't worth following. And if God is showing you that their church is falling down, and that whatever God gives, I need y'all to understand, He will provide, He will fund. God gives us big dreams that we don't know how we're going to do, but eventually, if it's truly of God, God will fund it, God will make it happen by putting you in the right place at the right time. God doing things to make it look logical to man, it has to do with people. God put it upon man's heart to bless you. God will put it upon man's heart, but you got to be aware of those that's in judgment. You have to be aware of those that's falsely using God and using His name in vain. You have to be aware by getting a relationship for yourself. If you don't do anything else, get a relationship for yourself. Get in your word to know what it says. When you don't do that, you lack knowledge and you will fall short continuously. You will keep getting hurt by the fake Christians, by the fake prophets, by the false teachers, all that. You will keep getting hurt. So it's time that you start developing a relationship with God, so you can live, so you can enjoy life, a prosperous life, even if you have to go through suffering, because that is a fruit of the Spirit. And understand that God will be with you. He won't forsake you. He will not be like people. He will not mistreat you purposely or intentionally, because that's not who God is. That's crazy. The power of death lies in the tongue. You can't talk blessings and good things, but yet you're evil and wicked. You can't do both. You can't curse, but yet, praise them. Come on, that's foolish. That's double-mindedness. We don't have time for that. If you want to save your life, get God. Get God, because that's the best thing that I can ever do. And I'm teaching it to my children, and I'm watching them by how they see me and how I move on how they're developing their own relationship with God, because my relationship with God isn't theirs. And I don't want them developing on help of people so much that they don't depend on God. They're going to have their mistakes, they're going to have their shortcomings, but yet, because I'm installing them not to depend on me, not to depend on no pastor, but make sure that you're seeing God and people and things, and man just wanting to do better. Yeah, I need y'all to do better, because the fall, the exposure, the things that's going on now, if they can't keep what God gave them, then you should question that. Or why your church falling? Why you don't have the money to maintain your church? If a storm hit, crazy how the storm hit, and the storm exposed things as well too. But whatever God exposes in a storm, y'all might want to take consideration of, okay, God, are you really in this, and are you trying to move my people? God is trying to arrest people, but God ain't gonna do that for so long. If y'all gonna follow the blind, keep following the blind, and don't get mad because you don't in a place, or you don't have what you need, because you're following these preachers and saying, oh yeah, if you sow into this, if you do this, yeah, your life is gonna be so much better. Oh, give me this, give me that. That's not how God is, and that's not how God works. So many pastors are only successful because y'all sowed into them. Y'all paid for the things that they have, the lifestyle that they have. Let's be for real. They didn't do what they're supposed to do with what God told them to. So that's why they're falling right now. But it's your choice to save your life, to not be so loyal to people more than you are to God. Your loyalty needs to be to God. Whatever God gives you, the dreams, the vision for future leaders. Listen, God will fund everything that you have. God, you be obedient to God, and you listen to God, and you trust God, God will fund everything that He gives you. Everything. Not some things, everything. And if it's not of Him, okay, cool. God, what do you have for me? What direction are you leading me into? Because He will lead you there, and He will provide for you. I know. So, experience God for yourself by walking with Him and enduring everything along the journey that's for your life, so you know who to follow and who to let lead you in this season. There's too many gifted people in the church that's not walking in their gifts. There's too many gifted people in a church that are being silenced. So just forget Get to know God for your leaders. Use you more than you allow God to use you. Stop being so faithful to people that will only toss you away when it no longer benefits them at the end. So there are too many people that are gifted, they are anointed. And some people just like having the title and the control that they won't allow you to grow and blossom into who you need to be. So therefore, it's time that you start evaluating your life for not just you, but for the sake of family, for the sake of your calling, for the sake of your purpose. Like, God, is this really where you want me to be? Is this really the place that am I supposed to grow? What was I supposed to do? If you had me here, is my time up? If you're not growing in a place where you're being fed, where you're supposed to be being fed at, it's time to change. If you go and you leave the same way, it's time to go. It's time to leave. It don't matter how long you've been out of church or a place. God will lead you. But get a relationship with God for yourself.